Welcome, 8th graders, to today's Explainer. I am so glad you're here. Today, we're stepping into the role of truth seekers. We're going to learn exactly how to uncover the truth hidden inside the informational texts that we interact with every single day. Whether you're reading a history textbook, browsing a news article on your phone, or even just looking at a persuasive flyer, there is a whole lot more going on beneath the surface than just words on a page. Our job today is to literally crack the code on how authors use visual tools to shape their message.
Okay, let's quickly run through our roadmap for today's lesson. We've got 5 key stops: beyond decoration, print features, graphic features, discernment, and finally, wisdom and the godly learner. Let's get right into it.
So, I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever been totally fooled by a flashy advertisement? You know, maybe you saw this bright, colorful banner online promising something incredible, but when you actually clicked on it, the information was just completely empty. We see media constantly in our modern world, but the crucial point here is learning how to not get tricked by flashy visuals that actually lack real substance. As 8th graders stepping into much more complex reading, you really need to know how to spot the difference between something that just looks good and something that actually informs you.
All right, Section 1. Beyond decoration, visual tools.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts of these tools, let's ground ourselves for a minute. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 3 tells us, "Write them on the tablet of your heart." God desires for us to deeply internalize His truth, right? To organize it and keep it front and center in our lives. Well, in a very similar, practical way, authors use visual tools to organize truth on a physical page so we can easily grasp it, understand it, and eventually write it on our own minds. Organization brings clarity, both spiritually and academically.
So here's our core definition for the day. Graphic and print features are absolutely not random. They are strategic tools. We're talking about pictures, charts, headings, captions, and fonts. An author uses these specifically to deliver a message, to guide your reading experience, and to emphasize their most vital points. Without them, you might completely miss a critical detail or totally misunderstand the author's tone. They aren't just there to look pretty or fill empty space. They are doing heavy lifting to communicate with you.
Moving right along to Section 2, Print Features, your reading compass.
And this brilliantly illustrates why headings are such an absolute game changer. Think about it. A giant, unbroken block of text is super intimidating, isn't it? It's hard to know where to even start. But by simply adding a bold heading that says something like benefits of vegetables and breaking that information down into a neat list, the author has given you a compass. Notice how much easier it is to quickly scan and understand organized information. Headings organize facts for quick scanning and basically prep your brain for exactly what you're about to learn.
Font choices and colors are super powerful tools too. Imagine you're walking down the hallway and you spot a safety poster. If the text is small, black, and in a swirly cursive font, you probably aren't going to pay much attention to it. But a bold, red, capital letter font, that grabs your attention immediately. The author is using that specific print feature to signal immediate urgency, making absolutely sure you do not miss a crucial safety detail. The color and the font are quite literally part of the message.
Let's shift gears into Section 3, Graphic Features, the hidden data. Have you ever stared at a photograph in an article and just thought, why is this even here? Well, that's exactly where captions come in. Never ever ignore that tiny text under an image. Captions tell you exactly what you're looking at and, more importantly, why it matters to the overall message. They give you the exact context. You know the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, a caption tells you which words the author actually wants you to focus on.
Let's see how this builds our understanding of data. In nonfiction, graphic features often carry the main data or evidence. Take a bar chart showing steadily rising pollution levels over 3 distinct time periods, for example. An author could just write, pollution has gone up over the last 30 years. Sure, but showing you a chart, that adds heavy, visual weight to their persuasive argument. You instantly see that dramatic upward trend. It forces you to confront the reality of the data in a way that mere words sometimes just can't do.
Section 4, Discernment, Evaluating the Message.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is keeping a simple 4-step mental checklist handy every single time you read. Step 1, you encounter the text. Step 2, you pause and ask yourself, do these charts, headings, and fonts actually help me understand the topic? Step 3, you ask the critical question, or are they just for looks? Are they just flashy distractions? And finally, step 4, you confirm that good features work hand in hand with the main message. They should support the purpose, not distract from it. Evaluating these features is exactly what keeps you from being misled by a weak argument dressed up in fancy graphics.
Okay, here is your Truth Seeker mission for the week. I want you to actually apply what you've learned by completing these 5 specific text evaluation challenges. Number 1, find a real-world text with a chart and explain what it adds to the message. Number 2, explain why headings are useful in nonfiction. Number 3, find an example of how color is used for emphasis. Number 4, write down a scenario where a graphic feature might actually be misleading. And number 5, explain how captions help the reader. It's time to put your new detective skills to the test.
Finally, Section 5, Wisdom and the Godly Learner, the HeroesMart Philosophy. At HeroesMart Academy, we intentionally intertwine biblical morality with your education for a really specific reason. Education without morality can actually hurt. Think about it. If you're incredibly smart and know exactly how to manipulate data and graphics, but you completely lack a moral compass, you could easily use those skills to deceive people. That's why we believe true intelligence isn't just about making you more capable. It should help you make wise, God-honoring choices. Learning to evaluate a text's truthfulness isn't just some academic exercise to get a good grade. It's a spiritual practice of discernment, protecting your mind and honoring God with your intellect.
The Apostle Paul puts it perfectly in Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7. He says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." As you pursue academic excellence and as you learn to decode complex media, charts, and texts, I really want to encourage you to keep your mind spiritually centered. A mind focused on God, on truth, and on wisdom will naturally lead you to righteous choices. It brings life and peace rather than all the confusion of the world.
So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought for today's explainer. When you open an article tomorrow, will you let the world's flashy visuals and misleading graphics distract you? Or will you use your new tools to see past the noise, seek the truth, and keep your mind focused on what truly matters? Remember, you are fully equipped to be a truth seeker. Go out there and read with wisdom and discernment.